It was just...
Oh, sorry. Don't mind me.
Silent Night, Lonely Night by Robert Anderson. It was just before Christmas. We were sailing off the next day. I tried to reach my wife back east to say goodbye. I sat in that phone booth for 5 hours trying to get a hold of her, and when I finally did, she wasn't in. Oh, no reason why she should have been. I mean, she was out for the evening and no one knew where. So I decided to go back to the bar with the fellas and have a few drinks. And then it came over me that I had to say goodbye to someone. I mean, we were heading off the next day.
I wanted to say goodbye. Cigarettes. Two.
It was just before Christmas. We were sailing off the next day.
And all through that
and Rick.
Oh, I thought that's what the Christmas. It was the.
Shut up! I'm trying to do my monologue on tape.
Oh, sorry.
This is Silent Night, Lonely Night by Robert Anderson. It was just before Christmas. We were sailing off the next day, and I'd sat in a phone booth in St. Francis trying to reach my wife back east. I'd sat there for hours trying to get a hold of her, and when I finally did, she wasn't in. I mean, there's no reason why she should have been. We were sailing off the next day. She got up for the evening and no one knew where. So I just...
Sorry.
I'll start again. It's called Silent Night, Lonely Night by Robert Anderson.
Have you seen where the singers are, really?
Shut up! I just want to get this on tape once! Silent Night, Lonely Night by Robert Anderson. It was just before Christmas. We were sailing off the next day, and I'd sat in a phone booth in St. Francis trying to reach my wife back east to say goodbye. I'd sat there for 5 hours trying to get a hold of her. When I finally did, she wasn't in. I mean, there's no reason why she should have been. We were sailing off the next day. She got out for the evening, no one knew where. So I decided to go back to the bar with the fellas. And then it came over me that I had to say goodbye to someone. It was a big thing then. We were sailing off and I wanted to say goodbye. Now, the only girl I knew was a girl I'd been out with once before. She was married and had a baby, and her husband was in the Pacific. So I gave her a call. She had to stay home and look after the baby, so I took her. I went out and bought whatever I could find. I bought some champagne, I bought some flowers, I bought something for the baby. You know, I bought some poetry. I took one of those wild streetcar rides over to her place. And we sat in the couch, and I remember she played Jerome Kern records. I remember. And we sat and had a few drinks and talked about her husband, looked at pictures of her husband's ship. You know, and I could tell by the way she looked at me that we both wanted to help each other out of a tough spot. She asked me if I wanted to dance, but there was no way I could. I mean, even in dancing, holding her, I just couldn't do it. And besides, we were both decent people, and her baby was in the next room. Her husband was in the Pacific. So I decided when I was leaving that I would shake hands with her when I left. But you know, all I wanted to do was hold her and feel her warmth and give and take whatever love we had in each other, but I didn't. I shook hands and left and went back to the ship. The next day we sailed off. The next day we sailed off and I was gone for 4 years. Now in the book, I wrote it that Now in the book, I wrote that I'd stay the evening. And the reason I wrote it like that was because that's what I should have done. You see, a writer gets a second chance. You know, back in those days, I thought if I ever slept with anyone else, I'd never be able to sleep with my wife again. I'm sorry, this conversation's gotten way out of hand. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm from Tilsonbury, Massachusetts, and I have a owner's degree in masturbation.